Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to give you an update on the house, our most recent house that we were looking at. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. I was kind of seeing that whole thing through. I don't know, I wanted to wait and see what happened before I updated anymore. But I don't think I told you where the house was. So I'm speaking in past tense, so I think you can already guess where this video is going to go. But the house was in Alabama. It was in a town north of Birmingham called Kimberly. Let me know if you guys are familiar with the area, but that's the town this house was in. And so we put our offer in, they accepted our offer, and then we went through the whole thing of like finding a mortgage, and so Greg figured out that whole thing, and then we scheduled our inspection, and Greg and Madison drove down there. It's like a 15 hour drive. So they drove down there for the inspection. Greg wanted to be there for that and actually like see the house in person. It was a good thing that he did. But yeah, so they took a trip. It was like a 3-day trip, I think, to go for the inspection, and it did not go well. Yeah, we got the report back when they got back home Tuesday, and we got the report back a little bit before they got back home. So I looked at it first because Greg was still driving, and we kind of had an idea of, you know, because Greg was there and I was on the phone, like he was like voice calling me at the same time, so I could kind of see and hear what was going on too and what the inspector was finding and everything. But there's a lot wrong with the house. Mainly it comes down to windows. So the whole house was like slider doors, which I wasn't that crazy about. At first I didn't realize that it would even be like an issue, like it didn't occur to me, but like after we had put our offer in and got our offer accepted, I was laying in bed one night and I was like, wait a second, if there's no regular windows in the bedrooms and all we have are slider doors, then we can't even like open our windows at night and like let a breeze in or something. Like if it's nice at night, you can't open the window and like let the breeze in. That's like one of my favorite things to do, is like go to sleep with a nice like cool breeze. And I'm like, we wouldn't even be able to do that, or at least the kids wouldn't, because their rooms are like ground level and we can't just like have a slider door open all night, you know? So I was like, oh man, that's gonna suck. But yeah, so there's hardly any real windows. There's only maybe like 2 or 3 real windows in the house that you can like open and have a screen. The rest of them are like almost floor to ceiling sliders, like wide slider doors. Like there was like 3 or 4 sets of them in the living room. There's a set in like every bedroom, and only the master bedroom had the slider plus another regular window, but that window that didn't even open. It was just like a big picture window, which is dumb again. But yeah, all of those windows needed to be replaced. I think all of them. The seal was broken on them, so some of them were so foggy you couldn't even like see out them. Other ones were like rotting around the frame, so it wouldn't even be like, you know, we'd have to fix like the frame around the window and then put the new window in, and fixing all of them to make all of them like energy efficient and so you can see out of them. Some of them wouldn't lock, some of them wouldn't unlock. None of them had screens. We would have had to get screens on our own for them if we ever wanted to be able to open the doors. But yeah, so that throughout the house would have been thousands of dollars. There also was like in the garage, I think it's called like a trussel or something like that. It's something with a T, and it's like the beams in the garage were cut in like 3 different places, and the roof was like sinking in. And the inspector, when he was talking about it, he was like, yeah, if you guys buy this house and like you don't fix that and then you go to sell it, like that's gonna come back and haunt you, because, you know, he just said those words, like it's going to come back and haunt you. And I was like, well, I guess it's gonna haunt these people that are trying to sell their house now, because that scared us. Like we don't want to have to fix like an entire, like it was like the whole roof. Why is the door open? I always like close the door and it just opens by itself. We didn't want to have to fix like the whole roof over the garage. Like who knows how much that would have been. Then there was like flooring that needed to be replaced, probably around 2,000 square feet of flooring. It was a lot of carpet in the house, and it was bad looking carpeting. Most of it was pretty bad. Then there was also some spots where he saw like sawdust along the windowsills. Like one windowsill just had like piles of sawdust across it, and so that could have been a sign of like carpenter ants. That really wasn't the thing that made us walk away from the house, or the carpet either, although that would have been expensive. Mainly it was the windows, the window thing, and the roof over the garage, which is attached to the house. But yeah, Greg was estimating getting all the windows and doors replaced and functioning, plus the garage, plus like flooring and other little things we had to do. Also, the water heater was 47 years old, so that would have had to have been replaced. Everything in total would have been probably around $50,000 to $80,000, and that was just not going to happen. Like, that is not for us. Somebody else wants to buy the house, or maybe they bargain with the sellers to get the price down and then do that work. They can do that, but at this, like, for us, we need something that is like livable, I guess, like we wouldn't have to do like a whole bunch of work once we moved in. And I want windows. I want like regular windows in the house. If they were in good shape, and you know, we weren't thinking we were gonna have to replace like 10 giant slider doors, I probably could have lived with it and figured it out. Oh, and also, sorry if you can hear them screaming downstairs. I don't know what's going on. Also, part of the house was wood siding, like cedar siding, I think, and there was a whole side of the house that would have been needed to be replaced because it was just rotting out. It just like it wasn't taken care of. Like, things were let go for too long. Oh, and another thing I forgot was like upstairs. So there's the slider doors off 2 bedrooms on an upper level, and so you open the slider doors and you walk out onto like a little balcony deck thing. Well, both of them were rotting and not safe, so we would have had to replace 2 decks, and you can't just like knock the deck down and have nothing there, because there's a door then that leads to nothing outside, so that wouldn't be safe. So we would have had to rebuild decks, like fix the garage roof, whole bunch of doors and windows, and they're so expensive. It wasn't just like, a couple windows that we could replace, like, slowly or something like that. It's hot in Alabama, and I would want our doors and windows to be working and sealed well and, doing what they're supposed to do. I don't understand how like so many of the windows in the house were like bad though. Like, how are like all the windows bad? I don't get it. So yeah, disappointing that we didn't get that house, but also I'm kind of like relieved in a way, because I don't know, the whole slider door thing, I just wasn't really that crazy about it. I'd much rather buy a house with regular windows that we could open and have a screen. And yeah. Hi.
Hi.
So yeah, they went all the way to Alabama for our inspection, but at least they got to have a little daddy-daughter trip. I think that was nice. Probably a nice little bonding experience for them. We will get our earnest money back, and the realtor was like, "Are you okay if I share the inspection with the sellers if they ask for it?" And Greg was like, "Well, yeah, if they want to pay for half of it, because that cost us $500, so I'm not about to just give them a free inspection report. If they want to split it with us, that's fine." But we did lose some money we lost money on the inspection and traveling, hotels, gas, all that. I don't know, it's just so hard to buy a house when you can't even like see it in person. I feel like we saw it for you saw it for the inspection, but at that point you're already paying for the inspection. Anyway, that's pretty much it, I guess. We're back to the drawing board. Don't really have any other houses to look at right now. Kind of just waiting to see what else comes up, I guess. We're gonna keep looking though. I feel like now is kind of a good time to look, because I feel like the competition might be a little bit lower right now, with it being around the holidays and Christmas time, and maybe not as many people are looking right now, and maybe the sellers are getting a little bit desperate to sell their house. So if we could find something between now and like February, that would be good, because once springtime hits, I feel like we're gonna have more competition. There might be more people like trying to buy houses, and I don't want to compete with anybody. I don't want any bidding wars. I want to like get some of. I want to get like the house for lower than it's listed for. So yeah, quick little update. But that's about it. Thank you guys for clicking my video, and one of these days I'm gonna have a happy update. One of these days that will happen. But yeah, I will see you guys all for my next one.